Hello students. So let us continue with the numerical part of it. I have kept some question for our practice. So I will take it from the easy label to the other labels. Probably it's going to be quite easy because we have already done with such kind of questions in the previous topic, that is capacitors. Okay, let us continue it with. The only difference is that here the resistance is going to be, if they are connected in series, it is going to be R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on. And but in that case it is exactly the reverse process of it. Anyways, we are required to find out the equivalent resistance across the terminals A and B in the circuit. So what I told you, that first of all we have to determine the both sides of each resistance, or every junction has to be named. So if this point is A and this point is going to be A, because these 2 points are connected by a straight conducting wire. Similarly, if this particular point is B, so this is also connected with B, so this is B and this one is B, because no other circuit element is present in between, and we don't know this point, so we are going to write it as C. So in fact we got three terminals. So as we told you, that the two terminals which are about which we are going to find out the, or across which we wish to find out the net equivalent resistance, it should be always kept at the two extreme. And this one is C. It's going to be quite easy, like in between A and C we are having 4 ohm, between C and B it is 6, and between C and B is also 3. So you can solve it with just by looking at the circuit, but still okay. Anyways, this one is going to be 6. Okay, we can clearly see these two are in parallel with each other, so they will give rise to 3 into 6 by 9, so that is 2 ohm. So this 2 and this 4 are in series with each other, so they will give rise to 6. So finally we are getting 6 and 6 are in parallel with each other. The final answer is going to be, I told you that if the two resistors are connected in parallel and they are equal, so we can use the formula R by N to find out. Here it is 6 and number of resistors are 2, so final answer is 3 ohm. So answer to this question is equal to 3 ohm. Let's move to the next part of it. So the next question is on your screen. So it says that find the equivalent resistance of the circuit as shown in the figure. So this kind of circuit you can start it from any of the sides. But if you'll find out the terminals, it's going to be like many terminals will be there. So it's better we can start it from one of the sides. So if I see that this 1 and 1 is going to be 2 because they both are in series with each other. This 2 and this 2 are in parallel. So we can write that one by one we can solve it. From here I am just writing down this next step, it is 2. So here this 2 and this 2 are in parallel, so they will give rise to 1. This one and this one are in series, so it will be 2. Then 2 and 2 are in parallel, it will be 1. 1 and 1 in series, that is 2. 2 and 2 are in parallel, that is 1. So from here we can write this point is A, and up to this we calculated it as 1. Let this point is C. So this point is C, and here we are going to get it as 1. So final answer is A to B, and this is C, in between A and C. So that means if the current moves from A, so how should it reach at B? So this current, one part of the current will go like this and the other one will go like this. So these two are in series with each other. So this is 2 ohm. 2 and 2 are in parallel with each other. So final answer is going to be 1 ohm. So the final answer is equal to 1 ohm is the correct answer. Okay, let us do this question. Calculate the battery current and the equivalent resistance. So what is the battery current? If I say that if it is a single battery, it is easy for us to find out. The battery current supplied by the battery is the EMF of the battery divided by the total resistance of the circuit, equivalent resistance. So what are the points about which we have to find out the equivalent resistance? Always you should choose the two extreme points of the battery. Always you should choose the two extreme point of the battery. So if this point is A and this particular point is B, so we have to find out the equivalent resistance across these 2 points. So if this point is B, so we are going to write this is also B because they are connected by a straight conducting wire. This is also A. So can you see that this particular wire is not having any resistance or any other circuit elements, and it is just not touching this wire also. So this is a hopping symbol. So this particular point is also having a, this is also A and this one is B. So if you draw all these things, we are not finding any other nodes here or any other terminals over here. So if we wish to replace all these things here, we will be getting only A and B. In between A and B, we are having one 8 and 12, 4 and 6. So that means we can see that even though it is looking like this, but actually they all are connected in parallel with each other. So we can start solving it. As I told you that group two resistances, it will be easy for us to solve it. First we will do it for 4 and 6. So as we know that 4 and 6 divided by 10, 4 plus 6. So this is 12 by 5. 12 by 5 is in parallel with, or otherwise we can do it like this also. 1 by R equivalent equal to 1 by 8 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. You calculate it, you will be getting the R equivalent value is equal to 8 by 5 ohm. We are required to find out the current. Current is equal to 24 volt divided by 8 by 5. So final answer is equal to 15 ampere, 15 ampere, right? Now the next question, as I have already explained it you the concept of Balanced-Wheatstone bridge, that so it is clearly showing that something is there like Balanced-Wheatstone bridge may be possible. Let's check whether it is possible or not. Find the equivalent resistance and the current in the 6 ohm resistance. Fine. So we have to find out the equivalent resistance if the current goes from this point. As we know that, let's the current is going like this, I amount of current is moving from the battery. So I'm not using any loop rule over here till now because this is I1 and this current is I2 and probably this is I3 and this is going to be I4. And anyways, here total we should get it as I2 and here it should be I1 and total current of I should come out of it. So let's see, check that about this points. I'm going to name these 2 points as B and this point is A, or which is Y, and this particular point is X. Okay, fine. So I'm going to use another color to show those points. This point is X, so this particular point is also X, and this point is also X. This is Y, and this point is also Y. Okay, I'm just taking this point as another point M and N. Can we see that 10 by 6? Can we say that 10 by 6 is equal to 5 by 3? And here it is 5 by 3. So this divided by this is equal to, the ratios are equal. So 20 ohm is completely removed from the picture. So the equivalent circuit can be easily drawn like this. The equivalent circuit can be easily drawn in this manner, like 10 ohm, 10 and 6 are in series. 10 and 6 are in series, and below it is 5 and 3, and here we are having 16. See how easy it is going to become now, and this whole thing is connected to 1 ohm. 1 ohm is like it's a very small resistance that is connected to this battery. So the 1 ohm is going to be in series with the whole thing that we are going to get over here. 10 plus 6 is equal to 16. 5 plus 3 equal to 8. So can we see that the 16 and 16 are in parallel with each other, so they will give rise to 8, and 8 and 8 are in parallel, they will give rise to 4. 4 plus 1 equal to 5. Directly we can write down that R equivalent is equal to 4 plus 1 equal to 5. How I got it? 4, 16, 8 and 16 are in parallel and their combination is in series with 1. So R equivalent is equal to 5. So the total current I, and if I say that I3 amount of current is going here, Anyways, I is equal to 60 by 5, that is equal to 12 ampere. Now let us find out that how much amount of current is flowing through the 6 ohm resistance. How much amount of current is flowing through the 6 ohm resistance. Let me draw it once again very clearly. So that means that 12 ampere current is going to be divided between 16, 8 and 16. So I can say that this is 12 ampere and this 12 ampere is going to be divided between 16 ohm and this one is 16 ohm and this is 8 ohm, right? We are required to find out the how much amount of current is flowing through this branch, because as we know that the 16 is coming out of 10 plus 6. So we are required to find out 6 ohm resistance. That means we are required to find out this amount of current. So let's do one thing. Let's make one arrangement. Let's make these two are parallel with each other, right? Let's make them parallel with each other. So if we'll make parallel with each other, so then 8 into 16 by 24, that is 16 by 3, 16 by 3 ohm. So we can connect it like this: 12, 16 and 16 by 3. Let the current in this is I3. So I can write I3 is equal to total current into the one which is in parallel with it, that is 16 by 3 divided by 16 plus 16 by 3. So finally we are going to get here like 4 into 3 and 4, that is 64, right? This is 64 divided by 48 plus 16, and this thing I'm going to multiply 3 with. So 64 into 3, and here it is going to be 64. So the final answer is coming out to be 3 ampere. Final answer is coming out to be 3 ampere. Right? So 3 ampere is the correct answer. So without using the loop rule also we can solve it. As we are familiar with, you can do it easily. So the next problem is find the equivalent resistance of the infinite ladder circuit as shown in the figure across the terminal A and B. As we know that when we solve the infinite resistance circuit, so as we know that anything that is connected to the right hand side of it, it is going to infinity. So if you just remove a single branch, one branch, two branch, so it is not going to give a large impact. The same thing we have already done with the capacitance also. So I'm going to put this is X and this, or X is equal to R naught. Here is also it is R naught. So we can write these two are in parallel and their combination are in series with it. So we can write R naught is equal to R naught parallel to 2 and their combination is in series with 3. So these two are parallel. We can write 2 R naught divided by 2 plus R naught plus 3. So let's solve it. We are going to get here 2 R naught and plus 3, 2 is 6 plus 3 R naught divided by 2 plus R naught. You know that these two are in, we can cross multiply it. If we'll cross multiply it, here we are going to get 2 R naught plus R naught square is equal to 5 R naught plus 6. So finally we are going to get the R naught square plus this 5 R naught I am taking to the left hand side of the equation. This is coming as minus of 3 R naught minus 6 is equal to 0. So here we are going to solve it. If we'll solve it, the value of R naught is going to be plus 3 minus b plus minus b square. B square is 9 minus minus b plus b square minus 4a and c is minus 6 divided by 2. So here we are going to get 3 plus minus square root of 9 plus 24. 9 plus 24 divided by 2. So how much we are getting here is 3 plus minus square root of 33 divided by 2. 33 divided by 2. So final answer, if you'll subtract it, 3 minus root 33, it is root 33 is more than 3. So you'll be getting a negative answer. So what is the accepted value of R naught? So I'm writing down the answer here. So the final answer is equal to 3 plus root 33 by 2. Now next question, we are required to find out the current in the 2 ohm resistance. Same thing, we have to arrange the circuit. Let's see that how easy it is for us to arrange the circuit or not. This point is your point X and this is Y. I'm going to name these points as M, N. We have to first solve M and N. Let's solve the circuit between M and N and then we can connect it later. Mn, and we just put it as these two are in series with each other. No? So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 and 3 and 6 are in parallel with each other. Or if we just want to do it by some other method, so let us name it as Q. So I'm finding it out between N and M. So just keep it here N and M. In between N and M, Q is there. So how much is connected between N and Q? It is 3. This one is 3 because directly we can see it is going to be 3. And between N and Q, again we are having a 6. This is 6 ohm. Then between N and M and Q, 1 4 is there. And between N and M, 1 3 is there. So 3 and 6 are in parallel. So this one is going to be 3 into 6 divided by 9. So it is coming as 2 ohm. 2 and 4 are in series with each other. So they will give you 6. This 6 and this 3, they are in parallel. So we are going to get 6 into 3, that is divided by 9. So this one is coming as 2 ohm. So this 2, we are going to get, this one is 2. So this 2 is in series with 4 and 4. 2 is in series with 4 and 4. So if 2 is in series with 4 and 4, so we can write R equivalent is equal to 4 plus 2 plus 4. So that is 10 ohm. 10 ohm. So by this we are going to get the value of total current. By this we are going to get the value of total current. So total current is how much? Total current we are getting over here is total is 120 divided by 10, that is equal to 12 ampere. 12 ampere. We are required to find out the current that is flowing through 2 ohm resistance. So let's see that how the current actually flows through this 2 ohm resistance. See, if the total amount of current is going through here, that is I. If I say this is I, then this I is going to be divided into 3 parts: I1, I2 and I3. So whatever be the current is I3, so this I2 and I3 is completely getting into 4 ohm, that is I2 plus I3, and this I2 plus I3 is coming back to as I. And this is I1, I2 plus I3 is equal to I. We are required to find out the value of I3. We are required to find out the value of I3. So we can also do it in this way, like total current is I, and we know that who all are in series? 2 plus 1. So how much will go, the same amount of current will go in 1 also. And here we can write this one is, that means we can write here itself. Wait. I'm showing you the current here. So let's say that this is the current. How much current is going? 12 ampere current is going. This 12 ampere, a part of it is going to 3, a part of it is going to 6, and part of it is going to 3, right? We have to find out this part only. We have to find out this part, right? So we'll do one thing. So this is I1 or I3, and this 6 is I2. This is I2. And this is here, it is I2 plus I3. And in this part we are having I1 and total it is I or 12 ampere again. So how to find it out? If we'll be able to find out I2 plus I3, then we can divide it. But anyways, uh, we can find out I1 easily. We can find out I1 easily. How? Because I1 is this one and this is I2 plus I3. This is I2 plus I3. So let's first find out I1. I1 is equal to total current multiplied with the parallel resistance, that is 6, divided by 3 plus 6. So it is 12 into 6 divided by 9. So it is coming as 8 ampere. This is coming as 8 ampere. So out of 12 ampere, 8 ampere is flowing through 3 ohm. So how much is left now? How much is left now? Now we have 4 ampere. So I am separately doing it here. Like 4 ampere has to be divided between 3 and 6. So we can do like 4 ampere has to be divided between 3 and 6. So if this is 4 ampere, I am only drawing the part of the circuit, that is 2 and 1, and here it is 6, right? So out of this 4 ampere, we are having 3 and 6, no? Fine. How much current is going here? We are required to find out. So I3 is equal to 4 into 6 divided by 6 plus 3, that is 9. So 24 by 9. So let's solve it. Just cut it with 3. So we are getting the final answer is equal to 8 by 3 ampere. That is 8 by 3 ampere. Right. I have kept one more question over here because this is going to help you to find out few of the solutions that is related to the resistance kind of numericals. I will take a separate session on numerical solving. So I'll be giving the different types of questions over there, but let's solve it. You need to produce a set of cylindrical copper wires that is 3.5 meter long that will have a resistance of 0.12 ohm each. What will be the mass of each of these wires? The question is that what will be the mass of each of these wires, given that the resistivity of the copper is this much, given that the resistivity of the copper is this much, and the density of the copper is also given. We are required to find out the mass of each of the wires. So in fact, I have kept this question to show you that how the mass is calculated, and how it is calculated from the resistance formula. As we know, resistance is equal to rho L by A, do you know that mass M is equal to volume into density, right? And how do we calculate the volume of a wire, cylindrical wire? If this is the length and this is the area, so we do calculate the volume equal to area into length. So mass can be replaced with area into length. In fact, we can say area can be written as mass by length. Mass by length. So this expression will become, so the expression of resistance will become rho L, and for area it is M by L. So L will go up. So we can write down the resistance here is rho L square by mass, right? So this one is the expression for the resistance. Okay, this is for the, yes, area we wrote it as in the form of mass. Just a minute. This is AL into rho. So we can write area is represented as density. I have forgotten the density. Okay, anyways, M by A rho. So we can write area can be L rho. And this one is density, so I'm writing it here D because already one rho is there for resistivity, so I'm writing it as density. So it is rho L square D by M. So the resistance can be written as rho L square D by M. So here we are required to find out what? We are required to find out the mass. So we can directly write down the mass is equal to, everything else is given to us, that is rho L square into density divided by the resistance. Just put all these things in your formula, you'll be getting the value of mass. Okay. Thank you, everyone.